scope, and you put those two together.
I'm Rob Ciampa, CMO of Pixability. I'm here in San Francisco at the Real SEO Summit. We had a great discussion yesterday on the evolution of YouTube, and we looked at the state of the YouTube industry and the business itself. And we talked about the journey from creators all the way to what brands are doing and how they're all working together on YouTube these days. And one of the things that we've seen that was most striking is we're seeing the maturation of YouTube now, where every single industry now has its distinct characteristics. So basically a one-size-fits-all policy for YouTube, which was fine a couple of years ago, no longer plays in our new business. So what are the nuances about YouTube? We talked about how each industry basically has its own characteristics, and one of the attributes is the role of independent creators. So when you're looking at brands, the brands themselves have a specific share of voice in terms of what they're producing, the views that they're getting, but the independent creators have taken a very, very dominant role. So depending on industry, the creators serve different purposes. In the beauty industry, the independent creators have a 97% share of voice, and the better brands recognize that you have great spokespeople out there that are independent, that are speaking up for the brand, and so the better brands are turning around and actually embracing the role of independent creators and pulling them in, including them in playlists, and actually interacting with them. So the lesson for a lot of folks, if you're a brand, take a look at that independent creator community, see who matters, and actually, rather than fight it, turn around and bring it into your overall marketing strategy. And as we continue to look at specific industries, we look at the consumer electronics industry on YouTube and what it really represented. And unlike the beauty industry, which had a very, very small share of voice for the brands, the actual consumer electronics industry has a much larger one with 5 brands dominating. But there was something that actually surprised us when we did our analysis of the industry, is we looked actually at, and this is for tablets, we looked at search patterns on YouTube for tablet information, and we also looked at search patterns on Google, and we wanted to correlate what's happening on YouTube versus what's happening on Google. And what we found was actually surprising. We found that throughout the year, there's a lot of search activity specific around tablets, and this would also play true for for smartphones, etc. all year long around information on tablets, smartphones. So people are actually making decisions, brand decisions, on YouTube. But when we looked at the Google data, we saw spikes at certain times of the year. So people make their brand decisions on YouTube, but they're going on Google to make their final purchase decision. So they do their research on YouTube, but they make their purchase decision based on Google. And that's really important for marketers to think about in terms of their strategy.
Media ad mechanism. Now he's on his own, he does some work with PepsiCo.